Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patriots 3, Life, Liberty, Pursuit of Happiness. And here's your Tuesday hosts, Tim and Matt. Matt, how you doing this evening?
I'm swell. How are you, Tim?
Oh, it could be better, it could be worse. I got a lot of work to do right after the show. Oh my God, it's going to be a real late night. Matt, you said something last week about what the show is about. This show is about the Constitution, constitutional values, conservative. Actually, you're former Republican,
Yes.
now libertarian.
Yes.
Which, a lot of people should be aiming toward being libertarian. I'm a registered Republican, and I'm aiming more toward what Matt's doing. And I've been paying attention to that for quite a while. I'm more about the Constitution than anything. And I see people doing things that are, heck, even in California, that's not fully constitutional, and it's a real bother to witness that. And
yeah,
we definitely need to get back on track. I don't care what party you are, go with the Constitution, learn it, practice it. So tonight, this evening, we're going to be talking about the SCOTUS fearful to do their jobs. What's going on after Lindsey Graham has passed away? Resumption of U.S. military operations. We definitely have a whole lot more to go on. There's
Indeed.
So much.
There's a lot on the plate.
So there was about, say, 8 years ago, a Democrat by the name of Maxine Waters. Well, she enticed an entire audience to do something terrible. I want to play a quick little video clip of what was said by Maxine Waters.
We can't protect the children. We can't protect anybody. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them until they decide that they're going to tell the president, no, I can't hang with you.
Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C. Not in the U.S.
Our issue is strong borders, no crime. Their issue is open borders. Let MS-13 all over our country. That's what's going to happen if you listen to them.
Yeah, that was 8 years ago. Can you believe it was that long? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders actually had some threats against her at that right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of people did.
I mean, there seems to be some steering going on with our Supreme Court. And
yeah,
what are your thoughts on this, Matt?
Well, I actually spoke on this, as you're aware. I think our first or second episode of me being your co-host, and I had been saying this for a while. And then I said it on your show that specifically, really, because again, my single voter issue is guns, the Second Amendment.
Yeah,
and for the past year, the Supreme Court has had these Second Amendment cases in front of them, pivotal Second Amendment cases in front of them, and they kept relisting them for the past 2 years, actually.
Yeah.
Relisting for conference, relisting for like over a record number of times, I think up to 25 times for conference. And they finally granted cert for 2 of those cases 2 weeks ago. Now, I have always said, previously, before the past 2 weeks, the Supreme Court, ever since the Dobbs decision of repealing Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court has been scared shitless to do their job.
Yeah.
And today, I feel that I've been vindicated in this because Amy Coney Barrett, or I can't remember her name.
Amy Coney Barrett. Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett and Kagan testified in front of Congress today in a hearing. And in Barrett's statement, she flat out said, like, I've been swatted. I've had to be issued body armor. I've had to explain it to my son, about the threats and why we need body armor. I've had multiple devices mailed to my home in reference to another Supreme Court justice previously who had his son murdered, and he was wounded in a shooting where somebody came to his house.
I do have a video from Fox News of Amy talking. You want me to play that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I would just share a little bit about how the threats have affected me and my family personally. They have required me to, or my children, to think about and see things that children should not have to see or think about. One example is when threats to my life were particularly intense a few years ago, around the time of the Dobbs leak. My security detail sent me home with a bulletproof vest, and I carried it into my house, put it into my bedroom, dropped it down on a table, turned around, and my 12-year-old son was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he wanted to know what it was and why I had it. And I didn't know how to respond because maybe I lack imagination, but I didn't expect that performing this service was going to put me in the position of explaining to my children what a bulletproof vest was and why I had to wear one. It's also been reported in the news that roughly 6 weeks ago, I was the victim of a swatting incident. At that point, my teenage son, one of my teenage sons, opened the door to go out with friends and saw in our street, it was full of police cars, who had responded to a false report of gunshots and raised voices in my home. I was very, very grateful that I had Supreme Court police outside my home because they were able to stop and meet with and explain to the county police that it had been a false alarm, and so the police did not actually attempt to enter our home. Many of us, me included, have received threatening anonymous deliveries designed to intimidate and harass us. They are often sent in the name of Judge Salas's son, who I think, as you mentioned in the beginning, Mr. Chairman, is deceased because he was killed by a disgruntled lawyer who showed up at Judge Salas's home intending to kill her, but her son, 20 years old at the time, opened the door and took the bullet instead. Her husband, standing behind, was seriously injured. So I think the message on these deliveries being sent in his name is clear. As Justice Kagan said, federal judges across the country, throughout the judiciary, including the Supreme Court, continue to do their jobs without fear or favor, but the threat level is really high.
Yeah. So with these top-notch jobs, it's going to take top-notch security, and there's going to be a lot of things going on. Now, you have people like Maxine Waters 8 years ago making a statement like she did to her crowd. That's not a healthy thing. Pastor Jerry's watching, so Matt, be on your best behavior.
How you doing, Pastor? No, listen. You know, watching her speak, you have to feel for her. You have to sympathize with her, right? However, that does not excuse. And I mentioned this off here before we went on.
Yeah,
I'm upset with her in one aspect of it. She was irresponsible when closing out her statement. She says, "I'm not fearful, but it should be noted that this stuff is happening." Again, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what she said. Right. And I wish you would just tell the truth. Either you're fearful or you're not. If you're not fearful, then you wouldn't need protection. If you're not fearful, you wouldn't need body armor. If you're not fearful, you wouldn't need any of these things. She mentioned specific key things that, like, especially things getting sent to your house. Like, you open up these things and they could be filled with, anthrax, which has been done before. Yes. So she's obviously terrified, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. But the fact that she's admitting this openly on the Hill, it doesn't justify it. Completely vindicates me in my statement that ever since they overturned Roe v. Wade in the Dobbs decision, the Supreme Court has been terrified to do their job and has been terrified to take up key polarizing issues because they are afraid of what's to come. Now, you open the show with Maxine Waters and some other people, espousing at least. Let's just call it violent protest, at least, right? To anybody who identifies as part of the Trump administration in his first term. Yeah. But we've all seen time and time again over the past 8 years of liberals, only liberals. Now, I say only liberals because with the overarching example or the overarching coverage of things that gone on in the political world, as far as people going out in public and being harassed. It is the overwhelming majority. I'm saying 90% of the time, it is liberals going absolute batshit crazy on a conservative, and they never stop. They're extremely loud. They're violent, and when I say they're violent, I mean they're causing physical harm or physical and mental distress.
Yeah.
Okay. For the last 8 years, right, from Trump's first term through Biden's term, we have seen case by case by case by case by case by example of a conservative out in public being absolutely harassed, bare minimum, to the point where they had to leave. Now, we all know who Steven Crowder is.
Yeah.
Steven Crowder is getting back into what he started, which was, change my mind. Go to the colleges and change my mind. And then Charlie Kirk kind of took over and overshadowed him and whatever. But the reason why Steven Crowder stopped is because he was sick and tired of every event that he was holding. He was physically assaulted by a liberal, whether it was stuff thrown at him, or being forced out by a mob, or being firebombed. Like he's admitted, like I've had Molotov cocktails thrown at me, like all these things.
Yeah.
And Charlie Kirk was assassinated for just opening his mouth.
Yeah.
And so when I say that the left is responsible for political violence, they are. Now, are there good liberals? Yes. Are there good Democrats? Yes. Are there bad Republicans? Yes. Are there good Republicans? Yes. Or conservatives? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming, when you actually do the research, more Democrats support political violence than Republicans do. Now, if you look at the stats, political violence on the left, the approval is roughly around 25 to 30%, but it's not that high with Republicans. So you have a significant percentage of liberals self-identifying as political violence is okay. And we have it. We have it right there. And you know what? I used to agree with that. Political violence is okay. But at some point it's become so prevalent in today's society that political violence is accepted, then fine. You know what? If you're going to do it, then I'm not going to attack anybody, but I'm not going to hold back by defending myself.
Right.
I'll put you 6 feet under and I'll sleep like a teenager. I don't care.
I mean, I honestly think that Maxine Waters should be cited for inciting violence. I mean, they did that thing with J6, which I believe, in my opinion, was a complete setup. And there's actually, look it up. People,
you can say what you want. I have to say this. You can say what you want about January 6th, but the key difference about January 6th, it was not an insurrection. There were some sections of it where it became a riot and people did assault police officers and everything like that. Yeah. But there are so many examples of people getting different treatment. I know a gentleman who served with us on the executive committee for the LAGOP, Siaka Massaquoi. He was there. Yeah. There's video of him going into the Capitol with a Capitol police officer present saying, "Come on in." And then within seconds, the Capitol police officer, and this is all captured on video, grabbed him and said, "Hey, you can't hear anything." Was like, "You got to leave." And what did he do? Whoop, and he left.
Yeah.
He was perp walked in front of his family at Burbank Airport when Biden took over, and had a federal case put on him. So the whole January 6th thing got blown out of proportion
completely.
And if you want to use January 6th as an example, as a liberal, that like, hey, conservatives are responsible for political violence too. Okay, give me another example. That's one. How many people died from that? Okay, one police officer died, but it wasn't related to January 6th. That's been confirmed. Okay. Correct. Yes, people were injured, absolutely, because it was hundreds of people, if not more, against a small group of people. But again, I tell you, how many liberals do you see going to a college campus like Steven Crowder did, or does, or Charlie Kirk does? And if they do, how many times do you see a conservative heckle them to death? And when I say heckle to death, I mean heckle to the point where they have to leave, or make them so uncomfortable that they have to bring security guards. You don't.
I mean, it was about a little less than 5 years ago. I was in Sacramento, and we got word that Antifa was heading over. It was a good thing we're toward the end of that rally event being held at the steps of the Capitol in Sacramento. And it was later on that evening that the city capitol was actually, I believe, burned at that same date.
Mhm.
And it's disgusting on, why such groups are out there. They appear to be funded by the far left. I'm going to say appear because, I don't want to like throw something out there that I don't have exact evidence on, but it appears to be clear, but we gotta, get back to having dialogue. And this is what Charlie Kirk was about, that dialogue, that open conversation.
Yeah. And the point that I'm trying to make and you're trying to make, we look, we have to get back to a point. Again, I'm gonna reinforce your point. We have to get back to a place in this country where people can say what they want to say without being subjected to the heckler's veto, bare minimum, and without being subjected to political violence. There's nobody as any key Republican figure or key elected official on the Republican side or the conservative side. Not one has done what Maxine Waters has done. Not one. During the Biden administration, there was not one. Nobody said, go out and attack the Biden officials, or not attack, go out and hassle them, go out and harass them, go out and do this. And we're like, hey, dude, just vote at the ballot box, man. Just vote. Or, like make your voice heard, but do it respectfully and all that stuff. Again, take January 6th completely out of the equation. That is a blip in the broader sense of history. In the last 8 years, even under Obama, yes, there were some Republicans who said some stupid shit about Obama, some pretty fucking disgusting stuff about Obama, whether you want to believe it or not, right? About him being, him or like Michelle being a man, or Obama is, he's Kenyan and blah, blah, all these things, whatever. Not one Republican official or notable Republican that's like a pundit or whatever, not one has ever espoused anything to their fellowship to like, hey, go do something with these people.
Right. So let's get back to Amy Coney Barrett. Coney, like
I don't
Coney
know why
Island.
I say Coney. Yeah,
that's all right. Because of another Comey that's in office. But anyways, so let's take a quick look at her voting record and getting back onto that point here. So here's what's all been going on here.
That right there again is key evidence to prove my point that the Dobbs decision changed how the Supreme Court either heard cases, decided cases, or accepted cases in front of the court. This is Comey's voting, not voting, but siding way. She sided with the conservatives 65% in 2020, 81% in 2021, and then it has declined ever since, 59, 57, 50. So that means that they are fearful of leftist terrorist violence, that they're either not going to hear a case at all because they're afraid of the pushback, or they're going to hear the case and then they're going to side with the majority because they're afraid of liberal pushback. And I wish the Supreme Court would get more vocal when it came to that. Like, I want the Chief Justice Roberts to come out and say, like, hey, number one, who was the Dobbs leaker? And why were they not, bare minimum, why were they not punished, if not filed on for committing a crime? Because that was huge. But why are they, I understand they have to be, silent and impartial and everything like that, but violence against them is not impartiality. That's just, hey, that needs to stop. And I want to see more Democrats rise up and say, hey, violence against the Supreme Court in any way is unacceptable. It is a line that we will not cross. And if any of my supporters cross it, I will denounce you to the nth degree.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
No. Sorry for the audio listeners. I'm doing body language versus not. I'm taking a look at the notes here. What's all been going on and what's happening, what we have lined up for today. So
I think, well, I'm not hearing any audio problems on my end.
No. I'm speaking on the behalf of the audio podcast listeners on iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
They can't see my head shaking.
No, no. For everybody listening instead of watching, there's an overwhelming agreement on both of our sides, Tim and myself, that political violence is unacceptable.
Correct.
However, I am a firm believer that if we are to be victims of violence, then we should be allowed to defend ourselves with equal and higher amounts of violence to stop it. And when Israel first, October 7th, right, when they went into Gaza and everything like that, and all the colleges were protesting and everything like that. That again, key indicator: the left is absolutely okay with violence. They're absolutely okay with borders, and they're absolutely okay with everything as long as it suits their narrative. As long as it suits their narrative. You had video documented cases of either conservative or at least independent journalists on the campus being brutally attacked and chased out of there because they were covering their side. So spare me the fake outrage. You can clutch your pearls all you freaking want. I don't give a rat's ass about you. I don't. I'm not trying to pretend like, I get it. Love thy neighbor. I get it. But you know what? If you wish me ill, I wish you ill back. Because a perfect example. I personally have suffered this. Okay. Back when I was really politically active and I spoke in front of school board meetings and I spoke in front of city council meetings, but mainly school board meetings and everything like that, I was followed. I was harassed in the parking lot. I had death threats sent to me. I had to my home. I had death threats sent to me. I had people send me letters that threatened violence against my family, all because I disagreed with the transgender policy of. At the time, they were saying that they were debating, considering a policy to not inform parents if a student came out as transgender to the school. And I was like, that's unacceptable. Parents need to know. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for the left. And they went after me hard. Wow. So I don't it's wrong. It's absolutely abhorrent, but I don't want to see a liberal ever say like, hey, the right said mean things. I don't give a shit. Right. I said mean things. I didn't hit you. I didn't shut your event down. I didn't force you out. I didn't threaten your lives. I didn't threaten to kill you. I just said mean things. I called you an idiot. You're a mental midget. If that's the worst thing you suffer, then so be it. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. But again, going back to the Supreme Court, that's why they're holding back. Yeah.
And we need to go off of facts versus emotion. That's ultimately what we need to do. Again, as I opened up this evening, we need to base things off of the Constitution. Yeah. Not someone's feelings. It's terrible on how the left plays that. And when Maxine Waters opened up, we need to save our children, but have they really?
Well, again, like we were talking about last week a little bit. It's you guys like, hey, you guys can't do this. You guys can't do this. Or you guys, get in their face. But when a conservative gets in their face, like, oh, I'm the victim. Oh, woe is me. Oh, look at this. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Exactly.
You're a hypocrite of the highest orders. You know what? Cope and seethe. Just cope and seethe. Cry harder. Let me get a cup so I can collect your tears and I'll drink it later. I don't care. I don't care. Your fake outrage means nothing to me. As a matter of fact, it cools the icy chambers of my heart.
Wow. Right on. Icy chambers.
Yeah. That it gets me going. Dude. I hate it when when the left goes ripshot against us, but if they catch a freaking inkling of pushback, they're like, oh my God. Oh, look at me like, pound sand. Right. Get out of here.
Yeah, it does get under my skin. Yeah, I won't say icy chambers for myself, but it gets under my skin and it makes me boil. So I get exactly what you're saying. They do wrong and then they turn around and try to say, oh, I'm the victim. No, you're not.
No, you're not the victim. You're the perpetrator. You started it. This is your bed. Lay in it.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to a little something different here, Matt.
Let's do it.
What do we all have lined up here? We got, okay. So, Lindsey Graham passed away a few days ago.
Yes.
And again, I don't wish any harm on anybody, regardless of his voting or her voting, for any female or male, for this matter. But there's been some interesting things going on. A very unusual thing about a family member taking over his position for the next 6 months. I want to play back a little video that I found on the Associated Press.
Graham's sister has been selected to serve out the remaining 6 months of his current U.S. Senate term. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster announced on Monday that Darline Graham Nordone would be the placeholder senator for South Carolina until January. It's somewhat unusual for a sibling to be appointed to succeed their sibling in the event of their death after Graham died over the weekend, but it's kind of makes sense in this circumstance. We see this happen a lot of times with widows fulfilling the unexpired term of their husbands when they die in office. Graham never married, never had children of his own, but he and his sister have always been really close, and she has played an integral role in a lot of his campaigns. So that's for the next 6 months. But moving forward, there will be a special election to select a new Republican nominee to face off with Democrat Annie Andrews this fall. Graham had been seeking his 5th Senate term and just won nomination in June. Now, filing opens next week for the new primary, which will be August 11th. And if there's no one who gets a majority in that vote, there'll be a runoff 2 weeks later. It's always a busy political time in South Carolina, but this summer is definitely living up to that.
Yeah. So it's a very short illness. And yeah, that just seems to be a little odd, in my opinion.
So I thought the same thing. I found, I saw, hey, he died.
Yeah.
And then I saw, hey, FBI was investigating. Then I saw this thing on X, and it really, it made sense. The conspiracy theory part of me is like, that's totally possible.
Yeah.
So he was in Kyiv, Ukraine. He was touring a drone factory in Ukraine. And during the visit, Russia bombed it. As soon as he left, he bombed it. And then basically they're saying that as soon as he get back, he dies. So everybody was saying, I'm like, you know what? The FSB, what current or formerly the KGB, the Russian FSB, that's totally within their realm of duties. They have done it before. And it's not out of the realm of possibility of them offing a senator, because Graham has been a very vocal anti-Russia politician, anti-Russia, right? Yeah. However, it came out the coroner's report. No, the death certificate, I guess, came out. He died of a aortic aneurysm, I forget the term. Basically,
Was it a tear? A tear in the aortic?
Yeah. So what he suffered from a disease that, and again, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night, so I can't really name the disease. His ascending aorta of his heart. So your heart's here, your ascending aorta, the main vessel, your descending aorta. The ascending aorta was calcifying on the inside. It was hardening. And so basically what happens is the inner layer of the artery and the outer layer subliminate, and the blood goes in between and creates this massive aneurysm so his blew. So yes, it was a quick and sudden illness, because if you're not in a hospital, you're dead within 10 to 15 seconds. You're done.
Wow.
You're done, because your aorta is the biggest blood vessel in your body. So you're going to bleed out in, I would say maybe not 10 or 15 seconds, but you've got minutes to live, nothing past 5. You're done if you're not in a hospital.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense. So
that's what John Ritter died over, and Alan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. So there's something here about Save America Act. Can we play that little short video there, Matt?
Sure.
extremely short video, so don't blink.
If not, on this vote, the yeas are 50 and the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed.
And a very quiet video for that matter. I'm going to go ahead and put that link in there, but basically
That was the confirmation vote for Hegseth.
okay. So it's interesting.
That was weird.
Yeah, that's what you sent to me.
Yeah, I just realized that. I'm like, that's really weird.
Well, I'll put that into the
Oh
chat.
no. So the basis, the point of that was, so I'm not sure if I've mentioned it on the show before. I think I might have. The Senate Parliamentarian, right? She is an appointed position. She's not elected. She was put there. She is not required for the Senate to function. Okay. So a lot of the things that the Republicans have passed out of the House that Trump wants, that, a lot of things that I want too, the key language, like Second Amendment language, all that stuff like that. The parliamentarian has the authority to take that language out of a bill, right? Okay. And for the last 2 years of Trump's presidency, or up to 2 years, it's coming up on 2 years, whatever. Since he got in, we've been screaming at the frickin' the highest levels. You have the authority and the ability to fire the parliamentarian. The Vice President of the United States can fire the parliamentarian. That's what that thing is. Like, he comes in when there's a 50-50 split, he comes in, right? So he can come in and say, hey, parliamentarian, you're done. You're fired. Fuck out. You know what I'm saying? He can do that. And the SAVE Act can go. Or a lot of the other key things that we want to do that are being held up by the parliamentarian can be done by removing the parliamentarian. But again, for some reason, J.D. Vance and Thune are not calling for the removal of the parliamentarian.
Interesting.
That's what that was about.
Okay. I mean, it seems to be a lot revolving around this Save America Act. Gentleman from Kentucky was voted out using AIPAC money, which is quite interesting. Foreign monies used during an election.
Yeah.
Thomas Massey is who I'm referring to. And
love you, brother. Nothing but love.
Good man there. Absolutely. And I'm just very, very shocked on how that all came about. It doesn't settle right with me. I'll just put it that way.
Not at all. Doesn't settle right with me either.
Foreign money should not be used in any American election. Absolutely not.
No, and foreign influence, foreign money, but also no politician should be taking money or acting on the behalf of another country. And I will give you one perfect example on the Republican side. Brian Mast. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He is an active duty soldier with the IDF, which Israel allows foreigners to enlist in their military, to fight the wars. Whatever. Say what you want about that. Whatever. But he wears the IDF uniform in the congressional chambers. I'm sorry, but no, I don't agree with that at all.
Right.
That is a horrible, 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 horrible conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is I'm not attacking him because he's a Republican. I'm not attacking him because he's because he could be. I'd say the same exact thing about a Democrat. There is absolutely zero reason why you should have dual loyalty.
Right.
Or you can have dual loyalty. There should not be dual loyalty.
Nope.
You like, when you renounce your citizenship, it's done. You can't get that shit back. Or you can, but you have to apply for it and go get in line like everybody else.
Right.
If you decide to join another country's military, I'm sorry, you should have your citizenship revoked. If you want to fight for that country, go be a citizen of that country.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that.
Now, I mean, there's a difference if you want to join the French Foreign Legion. Okay, fine. That's different, because technically the French Foreign Legion is not French military.
Okay.
that, you know, they have a very storied history. They're not the military. They take all the degenerates and convicts from the world and they use them as soldiers, whatever. But,
Okay.
you know, yeah, if you want to join the, you know, Ukrainian military, go be a citizen and
Yeah.
revoke your American citizenship.
Yeah, so that French Foreign Legion you were talking about sounds like a bunch of Aussies.
I mean, they kind of are. They have a very, very rich and storied history. They are known. They have a very, very solid reputation for being extremely hard fighters. It's very hard to get in. The training is very difficult. You know what I mean? Like it's rough. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But they are known as some hard hitting mofos. You know, you don't mess around with the French Foreign Legion.
Right. Again, sounds like a bunch of Aussies.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Australia used to be, what, the criminal island of the British or of European rule? Yeah.
Of England.
Yes. Let's see here. Continued war on Iran. Okay, so again, this war in Iran, again, is without congressional approval, so it's not officially a war.
But it's funny because Trump says it's a new war. It's a new war, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count for the previous one. The clock resets. I got another 60 days. I mean, he didn't say it verbatim like that, but it's like, hey, come on, dude.
That's
like,
just...
and that's the thing. Like, how can it be a quote unquote new war when your ceasefire was violated numerous times by both sides, and you were still taking pot shots at each other during the talks for the ceasefire? So the quote unquote war never quote unquote ended, quote unquote. So
wow.
And they passed a resolution revoking, you know, I don't know what's going on here anymore. We are definitely living in idiocracy times.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like, make it make sense. I mean, there's still troops there and it hasn't ended. So wait a minute. How is this?
Trump needs to walk out with a big chain, the big medallion, like the President Camacho in Idiocracy.
Right. I mean, if he starts calling burrito wraps or tortillas burrito wraps, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
No, the show is not endorsed.
Yeah. Brando, it's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Yeah, we can go. I can do this all day.
I can go with that movie too, but I don't want to like.
Yeah. But what's Brando? It's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave.
You mean water out of the toilet?
It's such a great movie.
I don't see no plants growing down the toilet. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
I can rap on that movie for quite a while.
Totally
those that want to catch up on our present times, watch the movie Idiocracy. I mean, we should actually do a show based on movies.
We absolutely should, and we should start with Idiocracy.
Oh, absolutely.
Next week we're doing Idiocracy. We're doing it. We'll play clips of the movie and demonstrate what's going on.
They're going to have to be extremely short clips because it's all copyright stuff. And I remember
we'll do like 10, 15 seconds.
Less than 15. So it's going to have to be like 12 seconds or less. Okay.
10 seconds. We can do that.
Okay, good. I'm pushing for 12.
Okay.
But anyways, I remember playing a clip for Jerry Springer about a year ago for a different group I was working with, and boom, all 4 channels on Facebook shut down.
Well, I think there's sidebar. I know whatever.
Go ahead.
But I want to say it's legal as long as like if you're putting the footage up and you're reviewing it, it's totally okay. It's because there's recent court case that's saying specifically for YouTubers, for movie critics, whatever. If you're putting it up there and you're identifying this is a review, it's totally fine. You obviously you can't put the whole movie on there, but you can put significant clips up there.
Okay. Wow. So
we'll look into that because you guys are awesome.
I'm some sort of fair rights thing for it with the movies and maybe music as well. So I remember playing a little bit too long of Eastbound and Down, Jay Reed, for a trucker show I did last year, and it was like 15 seconds. And then I dropped the audio of that and put my voice into it. I still got flagged for it.
Oh wow.
Flagged on YouTube, of course. This is why I like
Shocking.
Rumble.
Shocking.
So, President Trump teases about Thursday, this coming Thursday. So I want to play a short little video clip of that right quick here. Let's give you guys that.
Anticipating your big announcement on Thursday night regarding election machines and integrity, can you give us sort of a sneak peek about what to expect and tell
Well,
the
I'd
audience
rather save it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to
Why
say
should people
also.
watch, though?
But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news. And our country has to shape up. But that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday is it doesn't get bigger, because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. We'll be discussing other things too, but it's going to be a very big announcement. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like I'll be competing this Thursday against Trump. That's going to be a tough one. So yeah, if you're
Yeah, I thought that
catching
was
the
today
show on,
for some reason. I don't know why.
that's all right. Yeah. So if you catch the show on Thursdays, be sure to join in after the fact. Give us a like, share, and follow. On Tim Holliday TV, we definitely need the viewership. Sharing helps out a great deal. Help break the algorithm as well. The show here on Tuesday, I don't get to share out that much because Facebook puts a muzzle on me basically, which is a terrible thing. So you can find it at Tim Holliday TV. That's TimHolliday TV. No spaces. You can also find us on Tuesdays at Matt of Mystery on X.
Yes, Matt of Mystery.
Matt of Mystery. I like that name. That's pretty darn cool.
I thought so.
So yeah, so Trump's teasing about that. Well, I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
He is. So I saw, obviously that, and there's people are referencing. I think actually Trump said this, but I can't be too sure. That he's saying the two senators from Georgia. I can't remember their names. Both Democrats, obviously, were illegitimately elected in 2020 and I think 2022 because of either foreign influence or something like that. And Warnock was one of them. Yeah, hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. One of them's a female, if I recall correctly. I'm trying to remember her name. They're both male.
Dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Warnock and Ossoff.
Okay.
John Ossoff or Ossoff, whatever.
Okay.
Saying that they're illegitimate due to election fraud from either foreign influence because, and this comes from after an FBI and other federal agencies raided election offices in Georgia, allegedly. So, yeah, it could be that. It could be not. I want to see, and goes back to previous points that we've both made. I want to see arrests and convictions made. I do not want to see an announcement of an investigation.
Nope.
Or at least I don't want to see like we're seating a grand jury or we got a grand jury indictment. Like I don't want to hear about it. I want to hear about it when they've been filed on by a grand jury or they've been indicted and the trial has started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, too, also like, because they've done this with other things, when they filed on FBI Director Comey for the 8647.
Yeah.
I thought that was the weakest indictment I have ever seen. I've ever seen. I'm like, that is a stretch. That's what is known as a wobbler in the law enforcement community. When it's something like is a misdemeanor or a felony, it could be both, whatever. It's a wobbler in the sense like, I don't think so. But what I say that because in this case, if it's election fraud, everything like that, I want to see carbon fiber reinforced titanium rotted concrete evidence. Like I'm talking, this thing can you could sit a jury of the most diehard liberals and they would never be able to fucking say not guilty. Right. Like that's the type of evidence that I want to see. Now, obviously, you can't release that kind of evidence in public because it would taint the jury pool and all that stuff. Yeah. But I got to tell you, man, there better be some legitimate hardcore evidence against this. Because again, if there is, 100% I support it, 100%.
Right.
But I don't want to risk them saying, "Hey, we've got this evidence. These two people, we're going to get rid of them, and we're going to indict them." And they go through the process, and they don't even get an indictment.
That's speculation.
Like, you did all that for nothing.
That is completely speculative and should not be spread out like a rumor in high school.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't lead anybody to anything except for hopes that are shot down.
Yeah, exactly. And
Stop it, people.
All it does is further undermining. All it does is further undermine the reputation of your Justice Department.
Yeah.
And the FBI. And the FBI already has a shitty reputation as it is because of Kash Patel. Right. And the controversies that he's had and everything like that. There's a lot of mistrust in the DOJ and the FBI because of your failure to with the Epstein file fiasco. So for you to do this, I better have concrete, legit evidence, because I'll be damned if I get the carrot in front of the carrot at the end of the stick again.
Right. Again, let's base things on facts, not emotion. So quit trying to play people's emotions with the speculation.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, if it comes out, and it's good info, then I'll support it.
Yeah.
I'll support it wholeheartedly. Because again, if it's illegitimate, then it's illegitimate. Who wouldn't want to support that? Or who would support that?
Right. And then this goes, supporting that broken clock we've talked about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You can speculate. Maybe you're going to be right one time.
Yeah.
Because that's a broken clock.
Yeah. And, I'm so tired of being teased these things and nothing happens.
Right.
Or not just nothing happens, but it's completely proven as false.
Right.
Because it does not do our side any justice. It just makes our credibility that much worse. And we cannot, and because of that, to the previous point that you brought up, we can't have that conversation. We can't have a civil discussion, because the left is like, how can I believe anything that comes out of your mouth?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we can cite. Now the left is doing that now already. In the last couple of years, they've already said show me the stats to back you up. I'm like, oh, the FBI statistics that's Trump's FBI. I don't believe it. It's government.
Yeah.
It's all fake. It's like, well, we have nothing to base our information off, so we can't have a conversation. We can't have a debate. We can't do anything.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So again, facts. Oh yeah. Show me your facts. I want to fact check it. Yeah, you better damn right do that. Be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Have something under your belt before you start, blurting out of your mouth.
Well, yeah, and a prime example. Actually, I'll find the footage and we can put it on one of the show one time. Okay. I did a gun control debate several years ago on the local radio on KHTS out here.
Oh, cool.
And I debated a gentleman on the left, and I'm a gun guy, so I'm like, I know this stuff. So I wrote down notes. I cited my sources, everything like that. I came in, had a freaking notepad, I was ready to go. And the very first thing he said to me before we got going, he's like, "Oh, you brought notes. It's one of these debates." I'm like, "Well, that's what a debate is. I got notes and I got sources. What do you got?"
Yeah.
And that's all he could do was make an emotional argument the entire time. I was slamming him with facts like this source says this source said, like, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, you're wrong here. And he got really emotional. He got heated or frustrated because I was completely debunked everything that he said. And even I found out later on that, he's not a bad guy. He's yes, he's a hardcore liberal and everything like that, but he means well. And I'm not trying to disparage him.
Right.
But I found out that even members of the left were telling him, "Don't debate that guy. He's gonna do this, whatever." I'm like, guilty.
They studied you. They studied you.
No, they absolutely did. Because here's another thing. Because after that debate, I hit him up. I'm like, "Listen, how about we do a town hall at a local venue here about gun control? You and I will moderate the debate, and we'll get whatever." And nobody would touch it because of me. Nobody. No, or I say nobody on the left. Nobody on the left, like, nope, if he's doing it, I'm out. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like I had the venue secured. I was going to do it at a major venue in Santa Clarita. We had it all lined up. We just needed everybody to come. And they're like, no. If Matt's involved, we're not doing it.
Yeah. So folks,
Like, okay.
Be prepared. Bring your facts before you start, just speaking off the cuff. Yeah, I like speaking off the cuff. I like having that, sensibility, being real, authentic, but also what is real is the facts. I put together a handful of show notes before jumping on any live. I want to make sure everything is cited of what I'm doing here.
And if we're wrong, we'll own it and we'll correct it.
Exactly. Yes.
Again.
I mean, there's a few weeks ago, actually about a month ago, I corrected myself, like not even a minute less than after I blurted something out about a specific vitamin. And I was like, wait a minute.
I was wrong.
So, and I quickly readjusted on my position on that. Anyways, you spoke about KHTS. I completely forgot at the beginning of the show because I got a lot of things on my mind. It's been a busy past week and a half, 2 weeks now. But I want to give Pastor Jerry a shout out. Politics in the Pulpit with Pastor Jerry Cook. Watch it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Pastor Jerry's a wonderful guy. That's how I actually met Matt. He covers a lot of things across California as well as the nation. He actually has some guests even from other parts of the nation on occasion. Really wonderful guy to just even chat it up with. I get that opportunity to do that a couple of times a week sometimes, which is great.
He's a good dude.
Definitely tune in to Politics in the Pulpit. You can find it on KHTS, or you can actually find it on his Rumble channel. So I'm going to go ahead and put those links separately into the chat, and I'll update the show description for the iHeart, Spotify, and all those guys. Yeah, and make sure that's out there. I think I want to wrap it up a little earlier here tonight. So definitely catch the Tuesday shows there with Matt, and that's Matt of Mystery on X. You can also catch this on Tim Holliday TV. That's TimHolliday TV. You can catch it on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, and then also iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So, anything further to add?
You got it all, brother.
All right. Looking forward to catching up to you later on, Matt. Definitely, I want to know a little bit more about this Hollywood episode. We'll definitely keep the audience posted on that.
Yeah, for sure.
And, we'll definitely keep the audience posted on that. And when we can do that, we will get it out there. But Idiocracy is definitely a ridiculous movie. And it actually parallels a lot with what's going on in today's society.
It totally does. Yeah. Absolutely.
So we'll talk up some Brondo later.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, catch us on Thursday.
Have a good one.
Hopefully we'll have myself and Tanya on Thursday. Until next time, ciao for now.